my beautiful souls. Welcome back to your daily divine messages from Spirit. Happy December. Hmm. Happy December, you guys. Or shall I say, what's another word for happy? If happy is just a word in the vocabulary that we're redefining. Because that feels like a really deep conversation. I feel like that's a really deep message that we are really being asked from Spirit to look at what does happy mean? What does happiness mean? I know I'm coming in this kind of deep. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Princess Leah. It's been a while since I've done a daily divine. This year my daily divine has changed. It used to be every day. I started daily divine messages from Spirit in March of 2024 as an download from Spirit to start doing for my own personal, as a personal daily insight, message, channel, guidance, wisdom that I could give to myself from these cards as a energy check-in and some advice that I would receive as a prophetic download from Spirit in the name of conscious love and the energy with the intention to heal the heart of the woman and the soul of mankind through conscious love, which has now kind of evolved and changed its vocabulary and wording around the idea of and the intention of healing the heart of divine masculine as the wounds are held and stored in the heart chakra. The masculine energy stores its wounds in the heart chakra, and we all carry masculine and feminine energy. The feminine energy stores its wounds in the sacral chakra. And so that's why my mission, or so it seems, has continued to evolve and now move to a statement more so along the lines of healing the heart of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine for the soul of mankind through conscious love. But as you can tell, as my throat is also clearing, I do apologize if that is abrupt in your ear and, frustrating or annoying or gross. I have been sick the last several days and have been experiencing weeks of deep scorpionic, emotional, spiritual transformation and a lot of deep healing, a lot of inner child healing, a lot of soul searching and discovering and questioning. And this happens in all of our lives. And I've been really resistant to coming on here. I wanted to do one over the weekend. I wanted to do one as we closed out November, but November was really heavy emotionally for me. A lot of transformation that November entailed, a lot of deep reflection, a lot of inner darkness that had to come up. That was the Mercury in retrograde that we had throughout November, from November 9th through the 29th, and halfway the second half of Mercury retrograde was in Scorpio. And obviously we were in Scorpio season until recently. And now we're in Sagittarius season, which I did get to move this over. But I hope everyone had a lovely Thanksgiving. I was sick, like I said, the last several days, so if you celebrate Thanksgiving, then I hope you had a lovely Thanksgiving with your family and loved ones. If you did not get a chance to be with your family and loved ones due to work or being sick or travels or any other reason, I send my heart and my love to you, and I send that to myself as well. Because it's, there's a lot of emotions that come around this time of year, and I am one of very many who struggle with the holiday blues, with the Burr months, they call it September, November, December. I think that's so cute to hear around the Burr months depression. And even though it's a really exciting time of year, we're a few days away from my son's birthday. We had, Thanksgiving, and we have Christmas for those who celebrate Hanukkah coming up, for those who celebrate Kwanzaa, for those who celebrate, and so many other holidays. The snow, today was our first snow. Well, yesterday technically we had the first drizzles of flurries of snow, but today is a real snow. And it's December 1st. I know I'm blabbering. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been on here, so now I'm just vlogging to you or whoever decides they want to listen. But like I said, I've been really resistant to even share or sit down here and even turn on this camera and mic for weeks, for days. I've been kind of forcing myself to do the all sign readings for the month, and I've been really asking myself why, and I had to really sit with that, journal with that, talk about it with my therapist of healers need healing too, especially wounded healers, Chiron, which is all within us, having to heal our wounds, having to heal from our wounds, and then trying for those who are in the position of having the gift of teacher or influencer or sharer of wisdom, prophecy, knowledge. I really, really didn't want to come up here and channel for my own selfish reasons, because I personally felt out of alignment with, I personally was feeling out of alignment with Source, because I could feel that as I was I don't know what the word is, because the word reinvent wants to come through, but that's not the right word. As I was recalibrating, reintegrating, and maybe integrating for the first time, and revisiting and reconciling and recovering and rediscovering so much about my childhood upbringing, belief systems, fears, wishes, desires, heartbreaks, regrets, not just from childhood, but from my own child's life so far, being a mom. You think about how you've been a mom, and every year around your child's birthday, it doesn't matter how old, you remember their birth, you remember how you were feeling, you remember labor, you remember what it was like, the euphoria right after, and you remember when it all also started to feel like real life. You remember when things shifted. You remember when, and you start to look at least I am, what has motherhood taught me? Who have I become becoming a mother? And who am I as a mother to my child? How am I raising Indigo? How am I raising my own self? Because the moment I had my child, I immediately became 10 times more aware of my own inner child. And I realized how much wounding she needed to heal from. And I had to love her and nurture her, and still am, and to this day, speaking, talking, journaling, and doing my best to nurture her the way that my actual real child needs. Because I can't even give my own child the love that he needs until I can give my inner child the love she needs. And it's cliche, but it's something that has been the truth. It's something that I try and I say, okay, I'll give a little bit of attention to her, and then I ignore, or I get sidetracked, as adults do. Our inner adults naturally do. Our inner parents, our actual parents, naturally did get busy because there's a lot of responsibility as an adult. But the wounds that are coming up so that they can be healed, so that they can be forgiven, so that they can be released are coming up right now and have come up for the month of November. And we'll see what the month of December has in store. Every year, December, the last 31 days of the year, is always a surprise. You never know what the final days of the year are going to have in store. You never know who you're going to meet, what you're going to run into, what opportunities are going to present themselves. You never know what discoveries, aha moments, opportunities, solutions, miracles. We got the miracle, the spirit of Christmas right now, right? The spirit of holidays. It's not just Christmas for those who celebrate Christmas religiously or just for the, presents and the gifts and the commercials. But for those who spiritually look at Christmas in the essence of, the birth of Christ, the birth of consciousness, however you want to look at it. Or being around family, prioritizing familyship, rest, being home, being warm, however you want to look at it. It can have its ups and downs, and it can have its ebbs and flows, and it can have all of its important and necessary areas of vulnerable wounds, memories, as well as beauties and miracles. So anything is set to happen right now, especially in that optimistic energy that Sagittarius is. And maybe that's why I'm finally feeling like I can come and chat after being so resistant, after being so heavy in the depths of my emotions, of all the things that are needing to be recognized and acknowledged with compassion. The thing about holidays is that every year it comes around and we are all very well aware. Yet for some reason every year it's like we get caught off guard and surprised that it came this fast. As fast as it does every year. It's like, already? Shit, have I been budgeting? What have I been doing? How has this year been treating me? How have I been treating this year? Have I completed everything? So then you get these like anxieties of the resolutions that you put at the top of the year. But even though this year, and remember, 2025 is considered the year of the snake, in the Chinese calendar is the year of the snake, which is represents shedding. The wood snake, which represents earth, earthing, grounding, shedding all of the old layers of who you are no longer, of what is no longer serving your highest, healthiest self, so that you can be more grounded and stable in the year, what they consider one, back to one, right? Because technically it is nine. Nine goes to 10, which is the end of a cycle, the completion. But also 10 reduces to 1, as you would take out 0, which is the very beginning of a brand new cycle. And so in just a few short weeks, we're going to be entering a brand new cycle. And it's interesting that this is the year 9, and my son's about to be 9 in just a week from yesterday. So we've been doing our countdown, 7-day countdown to his birthday. And the fact that we're in year 9, the fact that he's about to be 9, and the fact that when he was born, all of these inner child traumas and adversities came up that I had shut down and ignored and denied for 20 years. And so for the last 9 years, I have been healing through layers and layers of trauma, so that I could provide the kind of support as a parent that my child needs and will need from me. I don't know how great I've been doing, because I've been healing, trying to give him the best life at the same time. And sometimes it feels like I have utterly failed. And sometimes it feels like I'm not so bad. And sometimes I don't know where the hell I am in the grid of success or failure as a parent. And maybe because there's no guidebook as a parent, there's no guidebook of whether you're failing or succeeding. If your child's alive, then maybe you're succeeding, and if they aren't alive, that doesn't mean you failed. Because life throws so much at you. This life is no joke. But at the same time, I'm also realizing it doesn't have to be so serious either. And the balance of having fun and allowing happiness and love to be felt and experienced and explored is just as important as allowing our pain and our sadness and our grief to be processed and felt as well. And it doesn't make us wrong or bad or slow. It doesn't make us unhealed or broken, because we're healing from a wound from 20, 30 years ago. Because we're still figuring out how to parent, and we've been parents for 40 years. So if you're listening to this podcast vlog, because I haven't touched a card, these are not my words. And I think that that is what has really been humbling for me lately. And maybe that's why I've been so resistant to coming on here and channeling messages from spirit, because I've been fighting my guides. I've been fighting God, arguing with statements that I am not healthy enough, I'm not whole enough, I'm not happy enough, I'm not here enough to speak on your behalf, God, to speak on your behalf, source, guides, spirit, whatever wisdom that this collective is supposed to hear. I'm not there to, I don't have the answers. I'm not an example. And that's when I heard, not necessarily a heard like a conversation, even though I have been journaling a lot, but it was more of like a physical feeling, a bodily reassurance, and a bodily reminder that was like telling me, a reminder saying, that's okay. Like, it's not supposed to be you. It's not you that needs to know everything. I'm not asking you to know everything. And yeah, it might feel like a miscongruence. It might feel like, how can I speak words of conscious love when I am feeling like that concept is a mere theory right now, because I don't know what is truth in this moment during my own metamorphosis and spiritual transformation and healing and grieving and releasing and clearing and letting go and forgiving. And because in the midst of it all, I'm still figuring it out, but I'm not supposed to figure it out and then maybe that's why I never saw myself as a teacher. I've had a lot of people tell me I should be a teacher in many different areas of arts, healing arts, performing arts. As a dancer, a writer, a singer, a model, I've always been, encouraged. You could teach classes. What could you teach? And I never felt like I could teach anything, because I don't feel like a teacher. I feel like a regurgitator. I feel like I just learn and absorb stuff, and then I just vomit it back out to whoever wants to drink whatever it is I'm vomiting. As delicious as that sounds. That's so funny and disgusting. But it's like, whatever I am learning, picking up, trying to figure out, because that's what I naturally do, is try to break it down and analyze everything to understand it a little bit better, so I can regurgitate it myself, so I can digest it, so that things don't feel so heavy, and so I can try to understand why things are happening as best as I can, so I can stop blaming God or other people or myself. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. But I'm saying all of this to say, that even though I missed Thanksgiving, as far as, you know, not showing up to my Thanksgiving dinner because I was sick, even though I didn't do a Thanksgiving reading, even though I didn't do a reading after Thanksgiving for a Friday weekend energy check-in, and even though on Thanksgiving I was feeling the opposite of giving thanks. In this moment, I'm thankful that I'm sitting right here, that I press play, that I've been talking for probably 30 minutes. I haven't even looked because I'm just sitting here literally talking to no one. But I'm thankful to be here. People probably don't even know I'm here because I'm just chatting. I'm just talking into the microphone. And yeah, it's been 25 minutes to share what all has been, as much as, you know, not all, but just to express a little bit of my own personal journey. And maybe it's resonating with anyone else out there, someone, maybe just one person. That's why I had to share it. But I am thankful that I have the strength, the spiritual strength to sit here, as silly as I might be feeling right now. I'm here. I don't know what the message that's going to come through from these cards. I don't even know if I will pull a message. Maybe all I needed to do was just talk and share, and that was the prophetic message. But let's tap into our heart space and resonate with the heart chakra sound frequencies. And if there's anything else that wants to come through, we can let it come through. And if not, maybe we'll just see if there's any messages from these cards to give us any more encouragement. Because like I said, it's not my voice that it's not me. It's not my message. Spirit's message coming through me. Sometimes I just need to get out of my own way because it's not about me. It's about what needs to come through me. So, you can place your hand on your heart. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Take a deep breath. Had an aha moment during my beautiful session earlier today of self-reflection, that I grew up not knowing how to really hold space for happiness and love to a certain extent. It's like I had a limit. And it's like James Blake's song, "Limit to Your Love." There's a limit to your love. And I think I have been conditioned to have a limit to my love, of how much I can hold in my heart space. And that could also be because, like I said, the masculine energy, that's why I brought it up earlier, to reiterate my reasoning, my mission for being here, as confusing, annoying, frustrating, and like it's non-existent sometimes. Like, am I actually doing it? Am I actually participating in this mission of healing the heart of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine through conscious love? Because it's like, I don't have the answers. I don't know. I'm on this journey as a human with the rest of us, but I'm not asking myself, I'm not tuning into my own wisdom. I'm tuning into a wisdom that's beyond me. And it's easy to not want to trust that wisdom when there are a lot of uncertainties and confusions and questions that still haven't been answered. And especially when there are dark nights of the souls, dark shadows, dark emotions that are coming up that don't feel good, that don't feel like love, that feel like fear, and they feel like they're coming out of nowhere. When tears are shedding, it's like, am I actually healing the heart? But that is what healing is feeling. And feeling the dark pain as well as feeling the love is all healing. And what I realize is that part of my healing is actually allowing myself to feel more happiness and love and joy and bliss and fun and play. How much did you play as a child? How much did you enjoy life as a child? How much did you have that like innocent excitement for life? And maybe you feel like you never really had that, and that doesn't make you wrong, and it doesn't make you bad, and it doesn't mean you were deprived of a childhood or weren't a real child, so to speak. It just means you grew up quickly, maybe for reasons of protection, whatever reasons that caused you to grow up quickly, emotionally, whether that's growing up emotionally quickly, growing up physically quickly. And I discovered after more deep inner reflection about this concept, this aha moment of not allowing not being able to hold to a certain capacity of fun, of excitement, of joy, of laughter. And it made me think about times when my son and I when he was growing up, and we would have playtime, and his dad would be playing with them, and they'd be laughing, it'd be so loud, and we'd all be laughing, and it would be like a timer would go off where like 5 minutes was up, and all of a sudden I just couldn't engage anymore. I would immediately get annoyed. I would have to walk out of the room. I would get frustrated. I would need to be doing something quote unquote productive. So I grew up believing that fun was not productive. I grew up believing that life isn't productive if it's not so serious. That if you're having fun, if you're resting and having fun and feeling joy, then you're not actually working. You're not actually being productive. And maybe that's something that you thought was truth as well. or that life is effortless, or life is only worth living if you've gone through so much suffering and pain first. And then I realized maybe I have been holding back. Maybe I have been holding and punishing myself, withholding love from myself because of pain that I have been through, or because of pain that I've put other people through as a way of punishing myself and saying I don't deserve it because I've hurt others, or because I've been hurt before, or because of the classic popular self-defeating disempowering belief that this isn't going to last, so what's the point in entertaining it that long? And that's such a heartbreaking epiphany to come into awareness of. And sometimes, and you may be going through epiphanies like this that are like, holy shit, the reason why I am the way I am is because of this belief, this conditioning, this disempowering. Like, I've been conditioned, I have been programmed to not be able to allow more than 5 minutes of joy in my day, if even. That's so sad. To not even allow myself a certain amount of love in my heart, in my life, in my relationships, because I have been abiding by this false, disempowering belief that love cannot be trusted, that love will betray you. I did not realize I was holding on to these kind of beliefs. And here I am being asked to be a voice, an instrument, to channel for spirit the frequency, the messages of conscious love. Do you see why I felt like I was not the man for the job? But why has this particular mission statement formed its vocabulary in my own psyche and heart and mind for 9+ years of this mission? So maybe you gotta ask yourself that too. When these disempowering beliefs, agreements come up for you, fears, addictions, tell you that it's not possible, that you're not able to follow or secure or achieve your dreams. I've never done that before. I've never done that before. I don't know why I hit the 4 sides. But maybe there are sides, all sides. Look at all sides, all perspectives. This is a long message for December because I haven't come on for so long. Look at this Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. We're hitting 40 minutes and I'm just now touching the tarot. The Wheel of Fortune did come through the other day when I was trying to just touch the cards to talk to spirit and let the energy move through me to connect. And the Wheel of Fortune is showing up still from the Divine Masculine deck as well. And then we have the 7 of Cups. So I left at the Wheel of Fortune coming through because, and the Seven of Cups, because it's like, I don't even know. It's almost like a joke it almost feels like a joke from Spirit right now, in the sense of like, this is supposed to be happening. this the wheel is turning in your favor. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. But it's like, I feel like I'm calling out to source, to Spirit, to divine, to God, to Jah, to Allah, however you want to call it, and I'm like, where am I? I feel lost. I am lost. Help me find ground, find peace, find love, find answers, clarity. And Spirit is saying, this is where you are. You're exactly where you're meant to be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Keep working hard. Keep working hard, because options are on their way. And sometimes you can roll your eyes. That's what I want to do. Arguing back at my guides of this message, right? Because it feels so general and so simple to say, you're right exactly where you are. You're exactly where you need to be, and where you are. The messages of this month for December, clean slate. It's like you're in this void. It's like, where am I? God, you're here. Where is here? God, it's exactly where you're supposed to be. And that's the end of the conversation. And of course, our human brains want more. So Spirit says, Seven of Cups. There's a lot more than you know. There's actually a lot more knowledge, wisdom, abundance, clarity, love around you and within you than you know. You may feel confused because you are working really hard, doing a lot of inner work with the Eight of Crystals. Yeah, working on your abundance. These are the cards that wanted to come through for when I was reconnecting with Source. At the bottom of the deck. So these messages are for you, collective, as well. You are working towards your legacy. You're working towards your abundance. You're working towards fulfillment and stability and the ending, the completion, the ending of poverty, of failure, the ending of lack, the ending